Hello everybody, welcome back to my channel. I'm Nazarene Veronica and today I'm back with another live reaction video. I'm going to be reacting to a few different things, mostly gym girl content, which I know you guys love. So yeah, let's just get straight into it. So this first video I'm reacting to is called Gym Girl Gets Silenced by Man. Let's take a look.
Do your fathers know you do OnlyFans asking for a friend?
He does. He honestly completely disowned me when I did it. I haven't seen him in about 4 years.
Your father disowned you because
yeah. His whole side of the family.
Is he a pretty traditional, maybe conservative guy? Or?
My dad's military.
Okay.
He's very scary.
What branch of the military?
He was in the Marines. He was a lieutenant in the Marines.
He's clearly not scary enough if she's still doing OnlyFans, even though she's got a scary dad. He needs to be a bit more scary, I think.
And then he was in the Naval Reserve.
Okay, so he disowned you.
Correct.
How did that go down?
My parents got divorced, and when they got divorced, we all had to go to court. And when we were in court, his main argument was that my mom didn't need to receive any money from the situation because I was a porn star.
And you haven't spoken to him in 4 years.
I have texted him and talked to him on the phone a few times. Every time I've kind of tried to let him in, he does me dirty.
Yeah.
But I haven't physically seen him since we were in court that day.
Honestly,
I wonder what she means by he does me dirty. Does that mean he tells you off for literally sharing your body with any man online? Because if so, that's not really doing you dirty. That's kind of doing you a favor, actually. Anyway.
I don't really blame him. If my daughter was selling pictures of herself for $10 a month online, then I'd be disappointed as well. And then I'd probably be wondering what I did wrong. Now, you'd think most fathers would react in the same way, but according to the other girls, the fathers actually help some of them. Take a listen to this.
My dad knows I do it, but he just kind of calls it my internet work and leaves it at that and says he's happy for me.
Are your parents still together?
No, but they're both happily with somebody else now.
Sure.
Yes, my dad knows because he was like the first one actually was supporting me before my mom was, and my dad take pictures of me and my mom takes pictures of me for OnlyFans too.
What the fuck? Your mom and dad, they're your photographers. Okay.
They don't care.
And you do full nudity on
they
OnlyFans?
Like take pictures like that, like just like teasing. Like I don't care. Or like pictures of my ass like in a bathing suit. Like they don't do that.
Do they
like,
help?
I do that myself. My dad like.
That is so effed up. Oh my gosh. That's literally, I would say borderline incest, to be honest, because I can't imagine my mother or my father taking pictures of my naked body, even like bits of it, and then knowing that's going to be posted on the internet. Even not knowing it's going to be posted on the internet. Even just taking the pictures. That is weird enough. You need some counseling, hon.
It's on the account too.
Okay.
And like does it.
Wow.
What the fuck?
My parents both actually found out, like they found it. They came right down to my room and they go, "What is this?" And literally pull up the site. So there's no way of me like getting out of that. They kicked me out of the house completely.
Hi, Shane.
Please God give me sons. Please God give me sons.
I can't be played. A person trying to play me plays themselves.
Congratulations, you played yourself.
April Fool's is cancelled this year. There's no bigger joke than thinking the women of this generation deserve to be married the way they act.
That's not ridiculous. That's not ridiculous to say that.
Andre, you gonna have to move because there's smoke getting in my hair.
Take it off.
I mean, he's not wrong. It's more or less a hat, innit? Let's be honest.
I got a question for you.
What's up?
Biggest red flag on a gym girl?
When she know everybody and their daddy.
That's fair. Biggest red flag. If I'm bigger than them.
Probably when she hits legs every day.
What about you?
When she comes in with a baseball cap every day.
When she comes to the gym to ask dumb questions for TikTok instead of just working out.
It's because you have more feminine qualities than masculine.
Like men smoking hookah is them operating in feminine energy.
I definitely think so.
Like, I don't
She know her worth now. How many of you men have heard a woman say after she done did all the dirt, I know my worth now, so now you gotta pay for what the other people didn't pay for. That doesn't make sense. I don't get to trash my house, then say I know it's worth, and someone comes in and overpays for it now.
Ain't nobody got time for that.
Well, yeah, that's just somebody being traumatized by past relationships and not going into it with a pure heart. So that's the dangers of this current society we have, where women are literally sleeping around and, you know, being sexually liberated, which is not real liberation. It's just, you know, you're trapping yourself into a cycle of trauma and abuse. But because of that, women are now going into relationships saying they know their worth, which basically means I am so traumatized that I can't allow it to happen to me again. So any little thing you do, I'm going to call it out and say it's a red flag and run away and, you know, manipulate you into being weak for me because I can't deal with you being strong because it scares me because I've been hurt before. That's what that means. And by a woman saying, I know my worth, like there is knowing your worth, but I think women are saying that now who have just been traumatized and are too scared to go into a relationship with a pure and open heart. And it's causing, like I said before, it's causing early divorce. It's causing, you know, lowering numbers of marriages. It's kind of sad. Definitely splits the family up. So yeah, always choose a woman who has as low a body count as possible because it does limit the chances of her being traumatized, unfortunately.
3, 2, 1, go!
I have never understood these videos. I understand making fun of your ex for being like, I don't know, shitty, but when you make fun of your ex for being ugly or unattractive, you dated them at one point, meaning you found them attractive. So it's contradictive to call them ugly because then you're saying that you just dated somebody ugly on purpose.
Yeah, it's true, it doesn't make sense. You're basically shitting on your own taste for men. And also, I don't know what you're seeing in the mirror, but you look fucking terrifying to me. To say you're out of his league is a bit of a stretch.
Women rate 80% of men online as below average in attractiveness, whereas men rate 50% of women as below average in attractiveness. And so what that means is that the attention of women in an open mating market is focused on a very small percentage of men. And what's happening in colleges and universities where women dominate in terms of proportion of population is that all the women are chasing a very small number of men. So most of the men have no partners at all, and some of the men have more partners than they know what to do with. And so those men pursue short-term mating strategies, which is not so good for the women because they just as soon have an actual relationship. But then you might ask, well, what does it do to the men? And that's easy, is that it trains them to adopt antisocial short-term mating strategies. And that's really bad practice, because if you practice exploiting people for your momentary gratification, then you'll become an expert at that.
It also, I think, leaves a...
It does work both ways. Like, I was just saying that about women being traumatized if they have more, well, they have more chance of being traumatized if they have more sexual partners. But the same thing works for men. Not traumatized, but they get used to using women for their bodies. And so when a really, really good girl comes along, it's hard for them to commit because they're used to just throwing women away after using them for sexual gratification. So it literally works both ways. Sleeping around, it will have a detrimental effect on your future relationships for sure.
A lot of young men feeling depressed and like they're not good enough. Even for the average guy, he's not that bad looking, probably better than some of the girls that reject him. He's going to think that he's worthless. Just because you've got all these average and below average women that seem to think that they can get the best looking men. That's why I always say it's a lot easier for an average woman in a dating world than it is for the average man. The average man, he's got to build his value. Otherwise, no one's going to look at him twice. Don't go around chasing average women. Focus on yourself and become the best you can be.
Don't get fooled by that video. I am not your type. I am under 6 foot. I do not have a car. I can go days, even weeks without texting people. I don't sell drugs. I am 5'9".
Men are so easy. All you need to do is be naked, cook food, do smiles, do sex. That's all you need to do.
I mean, she's not completely wrong, but if it's so easy, why can't the majority of them do it?
Just because you ain't have no money, you left him?
Had to.
That ain't right. I don't like that.
I mean, if I'm making more money than him,
You should help him get some more money.
How am I going to do that, though? If I have my own career, I'm doing what I'm doing.
A woman's supposed to be a helpmate.
I feel like a man is supposed to be that for a girl.
A man's supposed to be a leader.
You right.
You're supposed to help him be a better leader.
So I was in the wrong. Now I'm the bad guy. I'm always the bad guy.
You looking for a daddy.
I ain't looking for a daddy. I got my own money. I got my own money. I could do what I do. And that's what I'm saying. Like, I don't need a guy for money.
But you want one.
I want a man to be stable. If I was to leave him, I want him to
So he wasn't stable?
He was okay, but I was making more than him.
But he was stable though.
Yeah, I guess. Yeah.
So why are you leaving then? You said you just want.
Because he wasn't doing better than me. I need a guy doing better than me, and if he's not doing better than me, then
I guess.
everybody's different. Everybody's different. I just feel like that's how it is, man.
I feel like it would have been more real if you'd have helped him get to where you wanted him to be.
Y'all want these guys. I feel like guys want that love story. Like I feel like guys want us females to be with them in the trap, do what they do, and then when shit goes downhill.
No, nobody want that. You want that. You could have helped him outside of the trap. You could have helped him get a barber license or anything.
He was good at that, but he could have did that himself. He could have went to school. He could have did that himself. I would have encouraged him. I'm not his mom. I'm not gonna carry him and go do this and this. I feel like I need a man.
Been a mom.
Nah, he was looking for a mom. You said I was looking for a dad. No, he was looking for a mom.
Maybe that's why y'all was together.
Man, hell nah.
Because as most of us know, most women are hyper.
Literally, she's expecting men to be perfect, and it's just not realistic. Nobody is perfect. You know, only one person was perfect, and that was Jesus, and he was not just human. So, you know, nobody's perfect. You just need to accept someone for who they are. And if you keep on leaving a guy and then moving on to the next guy and then finding he's not perfect and moving on to the next one, you'll soon find yourself single at 40 years old with no children, no partner, just a few cats around you. It's just going to happen. It's going to happen in the blink of an eye before you know it. So, yeah, if you find someone who is a good man and has loads of good qualities, don't look at all the bad things he's got. Try and look at the good things. Focus on the positives. You know, if he hasn't got that much money, but he's, you know, working on it, stick with him and you'll see him flourish if you give him the encouragement, love, and nurturing that he needs to be able to grow. And the same thing will happen back because he'll see how you're treating him and he'll treat you the same way. Don't give up on people just because they don't have materialistic things that you might want. It's just stupid.
Bergamers, they're not going to date someone that's got less money than them. They want a man that's got more money, more success. It's rare they're going to look at a guy that's got less than them as a long-term partner. Whereas when a man's successful and he sees a woman that he's attracted to but might not have any money, he'll bring her to the top with him.
I'm making racks while I'm on the podcast.
No, I don't. Why are you calling me?
Because you are.
You call your mama?
Of course not. I love my mother.
Okay, don't call me.
I don't care about you.
You need to have some type of respect. You mad called you a zero. You are a zero.
I don't care about your opinion. It doesn't affect me. I still make millions of dollars. I don't give a shit about your opinion.
Make millions. Like you're a zero for me.
Okay, you're poor. I don't care about you either. Okay, it's your life.
Wait, what's his mother got to do with it? Why is she saying, "Do you love your mother?" when he's showing her disrespect? And he's showing her disrespect because she's disrespecting him. So where does his mother come into it? You know, I'm a bit confused. I think sometimes women think that they deserve automatic respect, even if they're being disrespectful to a man. They believe that they, you know, are owed this automatic respect from anyone, even if they treat them badly. And that's just not the case. And yeah, wake up call just happened.
It's not mine. Why would I care about your life? I still get to go up in my supercar after this, and my doors go up.
Your supercar, your millions of dollars.
You shouldn't. It's mine, not yours. You ass. Why would you care? You don't get to get in it.
You can't even put a smile on your face when you're talking because you're mad as.
My teeth are nice. They don't like yours.
Bro, your teeth are yellow.
Mine are yellow?
Yes. And you have a cool sore on your lips.
It's a pimple.
Now, I don't know, maybe the girls were being rude to him as well before, but the way he dealt with it just seemed lame and corny. It's like he's trying a bit too hard. Ain't no need to call them bitches and shit. You're not a rapper, bruv. And if you're earning money, then well done, but money does not make the man. You can't buy class. Just because you got a lot of money, it don't mean people are going to respect you and not think you're a lame.
That's true. But I do believe that she was being disrespectful before, which, you know, if someone's disrespecting you, then it's just, they're not owed your respect back. Anyway, next video is called, actually before we move on to the next video, I'm going to have a look at the comments. So, Party Chat said, do you think the Whatever podcast is linked in with the OnlyFans girls and takes a percentage because these clips go viral all the time? Not sure. Shane Nolan replied to that saying, indirectly linked, he profits from the guests, they profit from the exposure, but that's true for all the various podcasts. Okay, so yeah. Yeah, I don't know anything about them being directly linked, but like Shane said, probably indirect links, definitely. Kite 101 says, sound a bit wild. Sending blessings. What sounds wild? I'm sending blessings back to you, but I'm just wondering what part you were talking about, because I only just saw this now, so I don't know what you were talking about. And now I'm curious as to what sounds wild. Anyway, let me move on to the next video. Man confronts OnlyFans girl making content in the gym. What? In the gym? Who makes OnlyFans content in the gym? I'm a bit confused. What? Kind of don't want to watch this. Anyway, let's do it anyway.
Yeah, what are you doing?
My leg day warm up?
No, don't give me that bullshit. I know you know what you're doing. So actually, no, you realize you're actually what's wrong with girls. You're actually what's wrong with girls.
Are you pointing at me?
Yeah.
Dog!
This is ridiculous. Don't come to my gym. Keep it online, bro. Don't do this to my gym. Don't.
Now there's a whole debate in the...
That is so weird. Okay, well, I'm just seeing this saying, have none of you heard of post squats? Okay, post squats, that's one thing, but what she was doing was not post squats. Like, her face was, you know, she knew what she was doing. Look at her face. I'm going to play that again. And oh my gosh, it's just...
Yeah, what are you doing?
My leg day warm up. Why was she making those faces in the camera and then acting like she was innocent after? You know, she is an OnlyFans girl, so of course, you know, she's not like a random girl who's never done any pornographic content before. She does it on the daily, and then she's making those faces whilst doing exercises. I've never seen anyone in the gym making faces like that whilst they're exercising. So, weird. I don't believe that she's innocent in that, and I agree with the guy, and I probably would have done the same. I probably would have gone up to her and been like, listen, chill, stop filming yourself, embarrassing yourself, and making weird faces in the camera, like as if you're having sex or something. Really weird.
Only doing post squats.
Like, I don't know why we have to centralize everything. Stronger thigh and hip muscles, deep squats, effective for strengthening the glutes. It's good for you. What the heck?
I don't believe you.
Listen, we wouldn't be sexualizing it if you weren't making sexual faces whilst doing it. It's just like...
Other people are calling bullshit and saying that she's not trying to do post squats and it's not innocent. So let's take a look at somebody else doing post squats and compare.
Yeah, what are you doing?
Yeah.
Alright, so let's just imagine that she's innocent and a complete beginner at the gym. There's still absolutely no reason to be making those facial expressions.
Yeah, what are you doing?
Oh, but surprise, surprise, she's not innocent at all. She's got an OnlyFans that she's promoting by using the gym for content, and this guy saw it and he tried to put an end to it. And this is what she had to say about what happened.
So just because I do OF, I'm not allowed to stretch at the gym. Also, to all the girls saying that I deserved it, and all the people saying that I deserve to have my phone kicked, I deserve to be harassed in public because I was minding my own business in the smallest corner of the gym. Is there a rule that says no phones? No, there's not. Was it on a tripod? Was I being obnoxious? No, I wasn't. It's really sad to me to see all these comments saying that I deserve something because I went to the gym and I was stretching. I'm assuming he already...
She's acting so innocent. She's really trying to cover up her dirty work. And you know what? It's not working. And a lot of people also feel the same. That you trying to, you know, put on this innocent act and this facade of, oh, I didn't know what I was doing. And girls are so good at this. They're so good at being manipulative and pretending that they're innocent in something when they had really bad intentions. And what she was doing had bad intentions. You can tell by her face. You can tell by the position she was in and the fact she was not going much further than 6 inches off the floor, if you know what I mean. It was disgusting. I didn't enjoy watching that. I'm not surprised the guy came up to her and told her to stop. And the fact that she was carrying on acting innocent, that's probably what made him get angry and kick her phone. Fine. Maybe he shouldn't have kicked her phone. That's her private property. I understand that. Maybe he went a bit too far. But also, she should not be distracting people at the gym when they're trying to exercise and not watch corn, pretty much, in front of their faces. But carry on acting like you didn't do anything wrong.
I already knew who I was because I am online in the way that I am, and that it made him angry. And guys tend to get mad at things that they can't have.
See, I want to talk to the man because we don't know how long she was there and how much bullshit she was doing before he ended up approaching her. If she was doing inappropriate stuff in the gym to promote her OnlyFans, then I think he's right to go over there and tell her to keep it online. But I don't think kicking the phone's a smart thing to do. I don't think you need to do it either. I think if he'd have just not kicked the phone and kept it cool, I don't think there'd even be a debate in the comments.
Hi.
How you doing?
I'm great. How are you?
I'm good.
Why do you look scared?
Well, because you just kind of yelled at me for no f***ing reason.
I'm sorry.
You good?
Are we besties again?
I mean, I don't remember us ever being besties.
We were.
What do you do for a living?
I am a content creator.
What kind of content?
I do only...
Go to the left.
Oh. Yeah, that was probably the easiest decision he had to make that day.
I don't give you permission to film.
Yeah, I'm not filming you. You're good.
I'd rather you walk away and not put
I'm not. The camera's not even on you. You're not the main character here. Sorry to tell you.
They don't give a f*** about you. They don't give a f*** about you. They don't care about you at all. At all.
That's cringe.
Yeah, don't try this at home, fellas. If she's not attracted to you,
You're going to jail. You're going to jail.
Can we stop duetting videos when we have absolutely nothing to add to them? Can we stop duetting videos when we have absolutely nothing to add to them? Can we stop duetting videos when we have absolutely nothing to add to them?
Several months later.
Can we stop duetting videos when we have absolutely nothing to add to them?
Of the lead car as Christina Aguilera fakes an interest in Formula 1.
He ain't lying. You can't judge somebody by what they do to make money.
I just told you I did.
Yeah. Okay, and I'm telling you, you mad close-minded, like, and you mad sassy too, like,
Okay.
I mean, that's you though. You blocking your blessings, you never know.
I'm blocking my blessings because I don't want to wife a girl that works in the club.
No, just by being so close-minded. That's a...
How?
Because I said so.
But there's
Let
nothing
it resonate.
wrong with that though, bud.
There's nothing wrong with it. And you making it serious.
It's nothing wrong with it, but it comes with shit. That's what you're calling me. You're calling me close-minded, but you're being very close-minded right now because you're not thinking about the stuff that it comes with.
I think most men would rather marry.
Close-minded. Well, if you think about it, one is this behavior of being able to record yourself and post it on the internet for random men to watch. When did that become a norm? Like, when did it become a thing that was, legal and acceptable? And now people are actually defending that behavior. Very recently. So it's not close-minded to point out that something's not right. Jesus always pointed out when something wasn't right. Was he close-minded? No. He wanted to look after people and care for people, and although he didn't turn his back on them, he still told them when they were out of line, and he still told them when they were sinning, and he still told them when they were doing ungodly things which weren't correct. So I think actually you're caring about people by calling out this behavior and trying to put a stop to it. So I would actually argue that she is close-minded because she can't see it in that way. She immediately thinks that they are trying to hurt people, but really it's just care. And I do it daily now, and I have no regrets, and I feel better calling out behavior that I know is wrong, because I used to keep it in, and now I know that that is actually not caring for somebody if you allow them to carry on doing something which is so clearly wrong. Anyway.
A woman that's broke or works at KFC instead of a woman that works as a stripper in a club.
cold.
Close your eyes. You ain't think I was gonna get you nothing for Valentine? You ain't think I was gonna get you the Louis bag? Huh? Hey, nigga! Hey!
Oh no. Oh, it's fake. But it's still like...
Woo! Boy, you fast, man. Almost got you. Almost got me. Look, this the receipt, man. Take this back today. See you back at the house.
That's a great idea.
Yeah, it's a good idea, but next time just get the bag and put nothing in it. Then you don't have to take nothing back.
Oh, shit. Bro, is that Kendall? She's bad. She's not eating that bad fruit. Bro, what do you mean? That's she's not eating that bad fruit.
That's literally me. Like when I see a celebrity in public and everyone's like, "Oh my gosh, it's whoever," I just stand there and I'm like, no celebrity will ever impress me. Maybe 5 years ago I would have been impressed. Now I've literally woken up to the scam that celebrities are, to the evil that they commit. Not all of them, but I would say at this point the vast majority of them are committing evil, and I don't enjoy people praising them in this way. It's like they kind of see them as God, and now I can see how wrong that is. So that's literally me, and I've done that so many times now. Just like, okay, enjoy praising this random person you've never met who doesn't even care about your existence and doesn't even know who you are. Shane said, "Oh, I saw a good video that covered your friend and the GB News and Sunak jab thing." Oh, okay. Let me try and think if I know. No. If so, let me know what it's called, and I might be able to squeeze it into this reaction video. Kite101 said, "Your YouTube channel name." Okay, so you're saying that my YouTube channel name sounds a bit wild. Okay, I'll take that on board. What light do you use? I don't know, because this is not my studio. I just record here. But the remote for it says either Godox or... yeah, I think it's Godox. So Godox. So try and look that up and it might come up. It's a big circular light with little corners coming off it. Kind of looks like the sun. Okay, do you work out, Nazarene? And if so, what sports do you enjoy? I, at the moment, do not. I used to work out, but now I find going to the gym a bit weird. I don't know. I don't really like going to the gym because I feel like, I don't know, kind of like too much of my body is showing. And I know that there's like modest thing, but even like wearing leggings is a bit too squeezy. But I guess I saw online that there are some girls who go to the gym wearing like these leggings which have like a built-in skirt. And I was like, that's kind of cool. I might look into that. So yeah, I'm looking to go to the gym soon. But in terms of what exercise I enjoy doing most, horse riding is my favorite thing to do ever. Unfortunately, it's very expensive, so I don't really go often, but I do love horse riding. Oh yeah, someone said home gym for the win. Definitely. I'm moving into a new flat soon, and I am literally looking at weights to buy online and the bands, resistance bands that you can put around your legs. So I'll be doing that, but I'm not doing it until I've moved, which is in less than a month now. So when I move, I'll order all the stuff. But yeah, I'm excited. Anyway, that's all the comments so far. Oh no, someone said reaction video over reaction video, lol. Yes, it is. No shame in admitting it. Yeah, let's carry on.
Bro, I with Caitlyn anyways.
What did he say?
What's your favorite place to travel to? Outside of the country.
Outside the country?
Yes.
I'm going to Tokyo.
Okay, that's not in Asia. Different continent.
What do you mean?
Different
continent.
continent.
It's outside the country.
Yeah, the lights are on, but nobody's home.
Kelly, quit the bullshit. Let's just end all the arguments and everything. Let's make this official. Will you be my girlfriend?
Damn.
What is more attractive on a guy? Someone who's tall or someone who's muscular?
Tall. You're short, so.
What it is, okay. So,
I don't know. Tall
Okay, so for reference, I'm 5'7", so what do you consider tall?
6 foot at least.
You're short. Yeah, I heard you the first time.
She's tall, so she's
how tall is she? How tall is she?
She's like 5'9".
5'9"? Okay.
Short.
And then what's the lowest you would go for?
6 foot.
So you go
6 foot.
6 foot, that's the lowest you'd go for.
Average.
I'm below average, okay.
Wait, so you're 5'7"?
Yeah.
So I'm like 5'5". You're too short. You're 5 foot.
Wait, hold on. Where's your boyfriend? Why is he home?
He after the girls trip.
The American Beast was trying to get a reaction by constantly insulting the man's height, and he dealt with it in the best way. He didn't give her any reaction, and he stayed completely unbothered. It's always the ones that you don't seem to want that are the mouthiest.
So
5'7" is not even short. I'm a bit confused. That's quite tall. Yeah, I don't get that obsession with wanting a guy who's over 6 feet. Like, if it happens, it happens. But it shouldn't be a necessity. I don't understand.
how did you guys meet each other?
Met online.
Online? Yeah. And what's the age difference between you two?
Cheeky fucker. I am 42.
Nice. And what about you?
25.
And the age, it's not really a factor at all?
I mean, I prefer women who are more feminine, more submissive. Younger women expect more leadership from an older man.
What about you? Like, what do you look for in a guy?
Money.
Money?
This is just a business transaction. He gets a younger woman, even though she looks the same age, and she's probably scamming him, and she gets access to his bank account. Each to their own, but I'm not trying to be with a woman that only wants me for my money.
No.
If you break it down fundamentally, 56% of marriages end in divorce. That's the ones that end in divorce. What percentage stay together for the kids? Or because they don't want to give away half their shit? Another 10%? That's conservative.
Conservative.
But let's say 20% then, okay?
That's at least right.
You now have a technology that fails 76% of the time. That's insane. But people just continue to get married. Not only do they continue to get married, there's a presumption that you should get married. And if you don't get married, there's something wrong with you. If you've got a girlfriend and you've been with her for 5 years, and you say to someone, we're getting married, they go, oh, that's great. If you say to someone, we've been together 5 years, and we've decided we're not going to get married. We're going to move in together, but we're not going to get married. Ooh, what's wrong? You have intimacy issues? What's your problem? Meanwhile, 56% end in divorce. It's literally fits the legal definition of negligence.
I think the problem here is people are getting married with a government contract, and the government are getting involved in marriages. That does put a massive strain on the marriage because, you know, you have financial ties to someone. There's a lot of stress involved with it. I believe in getting married for God, purely for God. I believe in getting married in the eyes of God. And in the Bible, there is nothing about involving a government in a marriage. Nothing. So this is purely a social construct that people made up. And I believe the government made it up to be able to profit from marriages failing, which is what's happening now. So I would not ever encourage anybody to get married under the eyes of the law, because that puts strain on the marriage, and it does actually add to it failing, because the more stress there is involved in a relationship, the more easy it will be to make it crumble. Whereas when you are married under the eyes of God, there is no sort of financial, or there is, but there's not as much financial pressure. There's not as much stress. In fact, you feel alleviated. You know, you feel like all your stress is gone because you feel that God has blessed your marriage and there's no government involved in it. So I don't agree with this guy, but I do agree with him if he's talking solely about marriage under the eyes of the law, because I agree with that. I don't believe that's a good thing to do unless you have to. For example, if you're moving into a different country and your partner has citizenship there and you want to live together there, that makes sense. But anything else is a no-go. So yeah, but I understand where he's coming from. Shane Nolan says this guy is a divorce lawyer. Exactly, lawyer is definitely talking about the marriage under the eyes of the law. Kingdom 1985 says massive W, all about in the eyes of the Lord. Exactly, definitely, because that's what marriage should be, I believe. There's nothing, like I said, there's nothing in the Bible about marrying with the government's involvement. Nothing.
I'm not against.
Oh, someone said, what's your height? I don't know, but I think I'm 5'5". Last time I checked, I was 5'4". That was a long time ago. So I think I've grown a little bit since then. I think I'm about 5'5" now.
Other people getting married, people have reasons like religious beliefs and things like this, but me personally, I'm not going to get married, and I wouldn't recommend other men to get married, especially men, because if it goes wrong, then we're the ones that get the rough end of the stick. We're the ones that usually lose the house, the money, the possessions, the kids. And I also don't feel the need to make my relationship official with the government. If I'm good in my relationship, a piece of paper's not going to make that any better. But I do believe in a lot of the principles that come with marriage. I'm just not going to get married officially.
What?
I agree. I was going to say I disagree with him because I thought he was saying he's never going to get married in any way. But then the more he spoke, the more I understood that he was talking about marriage under the eyes of the law, which is, I understand where he's coming from with that. And it's sad. It's really sad that people don't realize you can get married away from the government. Like, you literally can. There are so many ways to get married. And unfortunately, the Bible does not specify exactly how you get married. It doesn't say in the Bible, it doesn't give you like a step-by-step instruction of how to get married in God's name or in the way that God intends marriage to be, which is hard because it means that we are constantly having to guess how to do it. And that's why people have, heard the government say, this is how you get married. And they've just gone with it because they're like, well, I don't know how to get married, so let's just listen to the government and do it with their involvement. Not knowing that if it goes wrong, all of that money, not all of that money, but a lot of money will have to go to the government. So unfortunately, we haven't got that instruction manual on how to get married, but it does say that marriage is when man and woman become one flesh. So it sounds to me like marriage is, I don't know, I'm literally just guessing, and I have read the Bible, and I think that sounds to me like it's saying that when you're becoming one flesh, that sounds like sex, right? So I actually think that marriage is sex, but I do also know that they do say that it does say in there that family needs to be involved. So, maybe you need to have like a ceremony kind of thing with a few family members. I don't know. That's just my guess. That sounds right to me. I pray about it, and that's the answer that comes to me. So, yeah, but obviously everyone needs to read the Bible themselves and use their own discernment to figure out what getting married is. But yeah, definitely not government involvement. There is nothing in the Bible about that.
It's the brokest thing a dude ever done for you.
He took me to Jamaica, but economy. I don't do economy.
Stop the cap.
I don't do economy. You gotta be first class or no class.
He took you to Jamaica.
Oh, she's disgusting. I'm sorry, that was just disgusting. How can you be so ungrateful that you decide to shit on a guy who has decided to take you to a romantic holiday to Jamaica just because it wasn't first class flights? Are you joking? Is that a joke? I hope she's joking, because I would love to be taken to Jamaica. I don't care about economy. I've never even flown first class. I don't care about first class. In fact, if anyone tried to fly me first class, I'd say I'd rather go economy, because I'd rather not spend that much money on silly flights. I enjoy flying with people around me. I even enjoy the babies crying. I enjoy every part of it. Actually, I don't. I'm scared of flying, to be honest. But once I'm in the air, I'm fine. But I don't like going up. I don't like going down. It scares me. But apart from that, I enjoy the process when I'm up there. And I enjoy having people around me. Why? I can't believe she's just said that. It's so rude and ungrateful. So gross. I hope guys watch this and stay away from her.
Yes. The biggest thing, Jamaica. On economy.
Yeah, her future is clear.
They call her the cat lady.
Hey, do men or women cheat the most?
Women. Y'all, we be trying to front like them niggas be doing all of that, but women cheat more, especially the LGBT community. They think they sneaky and they want to have like a whole bunch of bitches and you know what I'm saying? Women cheat more. It's okay.
Hey, do men or women cheat the most?
Women. We're more sneaky. We can manipulate you and just get away with it more.
Women are self-sabotaging at heart, so they feel like if they don't do something first, it's gonna happen to them.
Hey, do men or women cheat the most?
Men, because I never heard of a woman cheating, and if I did, I didn't hear it.
Hey, do men or women cheat the most?
They cheat for different reasons. Women cheat for emotional connection, and men cheat for sexual pleasure.
Hey, do men or women cheat the most?
I say females. Females, when they cheating because they actually like that. Feel me? When you a nigga, you cheating because you just want wax. You know what I'm saying? You just want wax.
Women cheat the most because I am a great cheater. You just have to have a really good lie for your stories.
I'm sorry, but look at her face. I wouldn't usually do this, but she's a gross person, and I'm just going to say, look at that face. She should not be cheating on anybody. In fact, she should be grateful to even have anyone in the first place. Like, that is just disgusting. Oh, gosh. Yeah, someone said, how dare he fly her abroad? The utter cheek of it. I know.
Cheater is a crazy thing to admit on camera. But good, she's exposed herself, so now the next man knows that she's a cheater, and if she cheats,
she belongs to the streets.
Oh my goodness, this is really painful. This is so painful to watch. I didn't know women could be so disgusting. How can you cheat? If a guy cheats on you, just leave him, you know, if there's nothing else involved. And if you can't forgive him, leave him. Don't cheat just because you're scared you might get cheated on, because chances are it won't happen. You're just being really paranoid. Oh gosh, guys. This is so hard. I hate watching these videos sometimes. It's just so gross. It really, really, really does bring me down. Anyway, next video. She instantly regrets divorcing her husband of 30 years. Women hitting the wall. 30 years is a long time. And let's hear what her reasons were.
Where you're ending your relationship with your best friend. And then you're left with nobody. So, I understand the point. He was a good dad. He was a good husband. He just lacked in a very major area. I don't know how to fill this huge gap. I had an active household. Now I don't have that at all, and I just don't know how to replace it. Is how lonely it made me feel for what I have now and what I've lost. So for those women that are in the same situation.
Why did she do it then? Because from the sounds of it, he didn't abuse her. He didn't cheat on her. He was a good dad. Maybe not that great of a husband, but you can communicate these things to your partner. Why do you have to... I think there's this craze in the media that if anything's wrong with a guy, leave him and find a better one. The grass is greener on the other side. Go find a better guy because you can do better. You should know your worth, lady, you know, whatever. There's this thing. And I think it's even affecting older women now because they're seeing these videos and they're like, oh, I deserve better. But you don't realize you're a bit too old to be jumping ships just because there are a few minor issues. And these issues, maybe communication issues or a lack of romance or whatever, she can communicate this to him. She can say, look, I feel like this is missing in our relationship and I am thinking of leaving, but I don't want to leave because we've been together for 30 years with my best friend and I really want to make this work. Can you please hear me out? Listen to me. I don't like this. You know, I'd rather you did this every now and then and help me out with this and, you know, gave me a bit of reassurance and, you know, a few romantic things every now and then. You can communicate this. You don't need to just leave. And it sounds like she just left. It's a bit sad, really, because she's clearly regretting it and saying that she feels lonely and there's a void that she can't fill and the household is split and she can't, look, she's unhappy. So what was the point?
Where you're ending the relationship with your best friend after 30 years of a marriage. I sympathize. I understand the pain.
Welcome back, family,
Today, we are going to review this modern woman who decided to leave her 30-year-old marriage to go back to the streets just to get pumped and dumped. Let's first start by watching her admitting that her ex-husband was actually a great dad and a great husband.
This is a very complicated point, and this is one of the things that I faced that was the hardest for me to make the final decision to leave, is because he's not a bad dad. He's a great dad. My children were blessed with a very good father. And honestly, I had a really good husband. Other than these issues, I understand. But in terms of like sharing parental responsibilities, sharing responsibilities around the house, grocery shopping, cooking, like all of that, he was a good provider. So I think that was I definitely struggled with making my final decision to call it over because he was my best friend. I've read my journal on like the day before I got that May 1st letter in 2019. I was happy. We called each other multiple times throughout the day. If I ever have a win of any kind, he would be my first call. I lost all of that. I mean, other than the friends that I also lost, I lost my best friend. And I've not replaced that person. I just don't have anybody to call now if I have a win, which is probably part of this TikTok.
That's so sad.
So I'm sure there's other women out there that have felt the same thing, where you're ending your relationship with your best friend. And then you're left with nobody. So I understand the point. He was a good dad. He was a good husband. He just lacked in a very major area.
This is really sad. It sounds like she just wanted maybe more sex and maybe to be with someone who's younger and has more stamina or something. That's what it sounds like to me. Because everything she's saying about him is so positive, and she's calling him her best friend. Like that doesn't come out of a bad marriage. Like that means it was a really, really good, strong marriage with good foundations where they respected each other and loved each other deeply and trusted each other. And she's gone and done that to him. That's really, really, really sad. I don't really have much to say. I feel sorry for her because she's made a massive mistake, and I think she's beginning to realize it. And I feel really, really sorry for him because I feel like he was weakened to the point of letting his guard down, and then she just took advantage and decided. I mean, he was probably partly to blame by not being strong enough to, I don't know. It sounds like, from what she's saying, sounds like he was doing a lot of the housework and doing a lot of the wife responsibilities. And so he was weakened because, I don't know, maybe she just saw him as weak. And at that point, when she was beginning to tell him that she sees him as a weak person or a weak man, even if she didn't say it outright, but it sounds like she kind of let him know, he should have stayed strong and shown her that he isn't. And then he probably didn't, and that's, why she left him. But also she weakened him. She is the one who weakened him. And it's just like a self-fulfilling prophecy, really. She made him weak. He was weak, and she broke up with him. Very sad. Someone said, "Hey, what's the story, guys?" So basically, this lady she was in a 30-year marriage with her husband. She says all nice things about him. He was a really good dad. Sounds like he was a really good husband. And then she just divorced him. And she's saying there are a few minor problems. I'm saying that she could have just communicated them with him instead of leaving him, but she left him. And I'm saying it's like a thing of women believing that the grass is greener on the other side and leaving the guy for having a few issues and not being perfect.
Fucking complicated for the person who finally has to call it over. So for those women that are in the same situation where you're ending the relationship with your best friend after 30 years of a marriage, I sympathize. I understand the pain.
What the hell would you end a freaking 30-year-old marriage with a great husband and come to cry on social media for sympathy? If your husband was such a great man, why don't you focus more on the positive side of things and less on the negatives? That is how you can compromise and gradually work on your differences as a couple. This is one of the ways successful couples actually do things. I personally know why she left her 30-year-old marriage, and I will show it to you at the end of the video. But right now, we are going to watch her cry while regretting her decision of leaving her husband when loneliness hits hard.
So I promise that I will always be as honest as possible with all y'all. And I was humming and hawing as to whether I was going to post this.
What is she doing? What is she doing? Why is she recording herself to try and get people to feel sorry for her? And, you know, it's like she wants some kind of reassurance from people that she's done the right thing. You're not going to get that. You've done the wrong thing. You've made a big mistake. You've really, really effed up, and now you're regretting it. And that's why you're coming on social media trying to get people to sympathize with you, because you need some sort of reassurance, and you know you've made a mistake. Why? Oh my goodness, the lack of loyalty these women have nowadays is just unbelievable.
But I know I'm not the only one who has this issue. The unintended consequences that I didn't foresee going to Easter dinner on Sunday is how lonely it made me feel for what I have now and what I've lost. And I spiraled and have been in bed for the last 2.5 days. Total honesty. I actually had a session with my therapist on Thursday, and I had said to her that I just don't know how to replace this chasm of emptiness
You can't.
that I have in my life.
We'll get some cats, maybe. You can't replace a husband, I'm sorry to say. You have effed up so badly. So badly. You are too old to be messing around. You know, even women who are younger shouldn't be doing it, but you are too old. You've had a whole life with this man. 30 years. You're saying he's your best friend. You did not have to leave him. You are not going to find better than that. You're not going to find another best friend to replace him with. You've messed up really, really, really badly. And it's not going to get any better. And now you've done it. It's too late. You can't go back.
And I don't, you know, for all of you that have gone.
Do you know what? Actually, I feel sorry for her, because I know she's probably around 55 years old. She's probably going through menopause, and the hormones probably, or the change of hormones, made her want to leave her husband. I have a feeling it's definitely linked to menopause, because there are so many women who at this age have the exact same thought process and suddenly realize that, you know, I think it's to do with the fact that they can't have children anymore, and they feel like they don't need a man anymore. But it's only a fleeting time. Like, it's, you know, menopause doesn't last forever. And then after, when the hormones are chilled, you realize, wait, I've made a big mistake. So for any women who are going through menopause at the moment, ride through it. Try and be understanding to your husband. You know, let him know what's going on. Communicate about your feelings, but don't just make rash decisions like leaving him or going through a divorce. It's not good. Okay, someone said, made your bed, now you got to lie in it. Yes, indeed. Female therapist, typically, probably, yep. Let's pray for the cats, please, that will deal with single women. Yes, guys, let's take a moment to pray for the cats. Those poor cats have to try and heal these women who are just like unhealable. Someone said, even as a fellow English person, I must admit your accent is outstanding. Thank you. Ridiculously well spoken. Props. Thank you very much. I'll tell my parents. Anyway, let's carry on.
Through this and, started again later in life, especially in a brand new city. I don't know how to fill.
Midlife crisis. That's what that's called. Menopause and midlife crisis. Really sad. She's literally tried to restart her life. I think she's realizing she's getting older now, and she tried to divorce her husband, or she has divorced her husband, and she's trying to move to a new city and live a new life, start again. Hun, you're too old. It's not going to happen. You're not going to meet this model guy that will, be perfect in every way, that will change your life and make you happy and fulfill every single tick box you have. It's not going to work. You're not going to do it. It's impossible. Nobody's perfect. You should have just stuck with your husband, who is clearly a good husband, as you said yourself, and communicated your issues with him. Not just jump ship. It's really sad. You shouldn't have done that. You're regretting it. You're going to probably regret that forever. And unfortunately, you can't go back now because a divorce is a divorce.
This huge gap.
Oh my goodness.
And, I had an active household. And now I don't have that at all. And I just don't know how to replace it. So if anybody has any ideas, let me know. I would love to hear how you did it.
I can see there's a ring light in her eyes. A ring light reflection. This is so sad. This is like beyond sad. She's literally divorced her husband, who is her best friend, and she's sat in her room in a new city trying to be young again and find someone else, recording herself with a ring light to post on TikTok to get people to sympathize with her decision, so she gets some reassurance. How sad is that? That's actually painful. And I feel sorry for her, but at the same time, I'm like looking at her like she's crazy. But I guess that's what menopause does to you. It makes you a bit crazy. That's what I've heard anyway. Not looking forward to that. But there are ways of healing it, guys. There are ways of sort of, not healing it, but there are ways of minimizing the effect of the hormones going through your body, making you feel rage and make silly decisions. Things like evening primrose oil, starflower oil helps as well, I've heard. There are other remedies as well that you can look up. Don't take medication, guys. It's not good. Don't take medication. Go with the natural remedies, because there are so many medications that God has given us naturally that we should be using. I agree with you, Nazarene. That's why when I'm a husband and a dad one day, I will be open to anything that my future wife has to say. I want to be a patient, loving husband and a father to my family. Exactly. As a leader, you need to listen to the feedback of the individuals in your household. That's what every good manager does. Every good manager will listen to the feedback of their employees in order to change things, improve things, and it makes the workplace run better. Same with a leader of a household. The husband needs to listen to the feedback of his wife, sometimes even his children. Not saying that he has to listen to them, but just listen to the feedback so that he knows what's happening and he knows what needs to be done. It's definitely a good way of running a household, I think. It's so sad. Someone said, don't ask people on the internet what the hell. I don't know what she's doing, but it's because she's that lonely that she has nobody else to talk to. She said it herself, like she had a husband who she called for every win she was going through, and now she's got nothing and no one to go to. So she's going to the internet. Ex-wife cheated on me after 17 years, total midlife crisis. Okay, now I remarried a fantastic woman who is way better for me. Grass always looks greener on the other side. Exactly. But for you, you're a man, so you can remarry and you can find someone who's amazing and better. But with a woman who's that age, probably like 55, she looks about 55. I don't know, I'm just guessing. But it's not as easy. You're not going to find someone better at that age because the one who was better was the one you met when you were younger, who you worked through things together and solved problems together and grew together. You're not going to find someone better at that age because younger guys, chances are they're not going to want you. Yeah, Shane said she moved cities. She probably doesn't have her kids either. Yep, exactly. Just, I mean, she probably has adult kids at this point, but still, she should focus on her children because she's had children for a reason. You need to look after them and be around them and not try and start a new life at the age of 55. Who does that?
No, you already had a lovely home, and you decided to destroy it because of your own selfish desires. Guys, this woman decided to divorce her husband and leave the city where they lived for over 24 years, just so that she can be free to ride the cock carousel like it was 1999. In this next clip, she will demonstrate by herself how she is really from these streets by showing you how many sexual partners she had in less than 2 years after she left her husband.
Oh my gosh.
Okay, I saw this message and I thought, you know what, that's fair. So I just thought I would recap, like, the ones that you don't have to worry about anymore. And then I'm like, I don't know what this list says about me, but these people are, they're not around anymore. So it doesn't matter. So, I mean, I could create a spreadsheet, but this is who's remaining. I don't know, that's going to be backwards, but so Mars, Polo, and RV. So let's talk a little bit. So Mars I've actually been seeing since November of last year, and it's friends with benefits. Let's just be honest. He is attractive as all get out. He's younger. He's around 40. He's intelligent and lovely, and we see each other every couple of weeks, and I really, really like him. But that's what that is. So Polo, I started seeing a week and a half ago. He's a year older than me, so he's 56. Oh wait, I'm 56. We're the same age. I forgot I turned 56. And he's lovely, and I really enjoy spending time with him. It's only been a week and a half, so we're early days. So, and then RV, little disappointing this weekend. It was his birthday, and I had said, hey, if you want to get together, we can do something, even though we haven't really seen each other much in the last few weeks. So he's like starting to edge over to like this side. I'm not willing to give up on him yet, even though all my girlfriends just said I don't want to hear about him anymore. Yeah, I don't know. I'm not willing to give up, but he's giving me no indication that he's at all interested. So
I'm not surprised. But this is such an attention-seeking thing to do. Who the hell wants to know about your sexual partners? You're 56 years old. Hey guys, I was right about 55 before, by the way. I'm just that good at guessing ages. But no, now you're 56 years old. You've just turned 56, you're saying. 56 years old, and you're doing this online, on social media, on TikTok. You're on TikTok telling people about your sexual partners. Your kids are probably watching this. You've got adult children. Your kids are watching this. And you're proudly airing your sexual partners that you've had since their dad. It's disgusting. It's so disgusting. Oh my gosh. This is what social media is doing to these people, guys. Women are literally deteriorating quickly. How can you be 56 doing this? This behavior is not for a 56-year-old. I mean, it's not for any woman, to be honest, but 56 years old and doing this is even more shocking. Oh, man. Someone said facepalm. Yep. Damn, she's throwing it about in her 50s. How am I getting less action than this method? Lord, I know you're listening to my prayer. Please, 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 please don't let my future girl have TikTok. I don't want social media to take away from her sweet innocence. Aw. Yeah, exactly. I mean, TikTok's not all bad if you use it to put the truth out there, which is what I do. Like on my TikTok, it's literally solely for putting information about the New World Order and the injection and things like that out. I don't post anything of like just content of me. But this is just sickening. And I can see that TikTok has had a negative effect on some women who are weak and do not, I'm going to use this phrase, do not know their worth, because there's knowing your worth in a negative way, which women are just using to their advantage so they can carry on sleeping around. And there's knowing your worth in a godly way, because God has created me to have a purpose, which is to be a mother. He uses me to spread a message, and I know my worth to the point where I will not sleep around with random men. But unfortunately, women are knowing their worth in the wrong way nowadays, in the wrong context, and they're using it in the opposite way to how they should be.
I'm kind of being out anyways. So that's who's remaining. I'm not looking to add anybody. I'm off the apps.
You went from having a husband for 30 years who you loved truly, who you looked at as your best friend, who was a great dad, who helped you with household things, who was there whenever you needed someone to talk to, who filled a void that you now have because you're lonely, who filled that, who was there, who made you feel constantly attended to. You had that. You went from that to this, to a list of men that you sleep with, that you get used by for sexual gratification. How unfortunate is that? And you've done that to yourself, and you're proudly exhibiting that online on TikTok as a 56-year-old woman. Shocking.
Not looking to add anybody into the roster right now. I think we're good. So yeah, I hope that helps. I'm not quite sure what this says about me, but anyways.
I know what it says about you. It says you're a hoe, in my opinion. I don't use that word often, but I'm using it with you. And the thing is, she's posting this as if she's the one using the men. No. Don't get it twisted. You are being used by the men. They are using you, and you're in denial, and you believe that you are the one who's in control of this. But you're not. You're not in control of this. You're a desperate woman who's lost her husband because that was your choice. But you are definitely not the one using them. They are using you because they can see that you're desperate and weak because of the decision you've made, and you are opening your legs to them very easily. And literally, you think that you have these men on rotation, but actually you're part of their rotation.
That's where we're at. Okay.
That's embarrassing.
I'll have updates this week. Bye, everybody. I have a date with Polo tomorrow night. Okay, bye.
Ma'am, you asked what this list says about you. Well, this list reveals that you are 100% for the streets. As you guys can see right now on your screen how she decided to start going to the gym to work out so that she can look good for Chad and Tyrone. These modern women never put so much effort to look their best for their husbands when they are in their marriages.
Yeah.
But they sure do when they want to go have some fun in these streets.
Yeah.
I will now show you the real reason all these modern women divorce their husbands. They destroy their families just so that they can chase after Chad and Tyrone's validation. In this next clip, you will see the excitement of this woman talking about her Chad so that you guys can understand what I am talking about.
Okay. Mars. So we had messaged, I think we met on Tinder, and we had started messaging probably in October, and just flirtatious. Yeah, his nickname was Mars is because he has a job involving space and stuff like that. So anyway, so it was just an easy nickname. And so around 40, attractive, and it was my first ever friends with benefits. And we met up for the first time in November. And consistently seeing each other until about just a few weeks ago. Anyways, I'll explain why. But man, if there was a way for a woman to feel desirable again, it is to it's to spend some time with somebody that, one, knows what they're doing, but then also just, I don't know, ladies, but mwah.
So gross. It's like watching my grandma talk about her sexual life. That's what I feel like I'm doing right now. This is disgusting. Basically, I now know why she left her husband. It's because he was not satisfying her sexually. That's why she left her husband. It's very clear from what she's talking about now. She is saying that she now feels that she has more worth. And she feels good about herself now and more confident because she's with a man who can perform like a younger man sexually. Unfortunately, when you're with someone for 30 years, you're not going to have that, electric spark that you had when you first met. It will decrease slightly. There are ways of bringing a spark back, though. You don't need to leave your marriage of 30 years and sleep with a younger guy who is, how old? 40 years old. She's 66, who's 16 years younger than you, to try and feel... If you feel that your worth is gained from sleeping with a younger guy, that's just sad. That says a lot about you because you don't have self-worth. You don't know your worth. You may say you do, and you may use it as a reason for divorcing your husband, but you don't know your worth, because if your worth is gained from sleeping with younger men, that's embarrassing, and you should be embarrassed. You should not be posting about this online. Oh man, this is so gross. Grandma, don't talk about your sex life on TikTok.
He's great. And yeah, it was always the joke whenever I start dating somebody, it's like, it's important if they make me end it with Mars. Yeah, that good. On so many levels. And you know what, honestly, we would have great conversations as well. It wasn't just the physical. We would have fantastic conversations.
Of course.
And so, Mars. Yeah.
Now.
I'm so grossed out. Ugh, man. Disgusting. Okay. Mars causing all sorts of chaos. Old lady on a mad one. She is. This is sad. It is.
Let's have a look at how she keeps on pursuing her Chad even after he dumps her.
So this message is very timely because I was actually just about to make a TikTok because I actually heard from him yesterday, and so we're hopefully getting together in the next couple of days. So I know I still have to bring you up to speed on everything and as to like why we stopped communicating about 6 weeks ago, but I heard from him Friday, and yeah, I think we're going to meet up in the next couple of days. So I will let you know.
Look at the excitement she has for someone that don't even give a about her.
You guys, I forgot to tell you, I saw Mars last weekend. I totally forgot to update you. I am so sorry. Oh my gosh, it's been such a crazy week. Yeah, we saw each other last weekend.
Are people really this invested in her sex life? Is this real?
It was lovely. So anyways, just wanted to update you on that.
Whether a modern woman is 18 or 55, They all act like teenagers most of the time. They react and make life-changing decisions by following their feelings. Remember that she even left her city so that she can go away to fulfill her need of being a 304. After all her debaucheries, she tries to come back to her city and cries after reality settle in. Let's watch.
So I'm still in the town where I had left when I left 2.5 years ago. It's been interesting. It's been melancholy in a sense that I came back, and as soon as people knew I was back, my phone blew up. And, you're just instantly surrounded by people who know and love you and know your story. And I saw my son, and I met his new girlfriend, and she's lovely. I've connected with my mom in that we've texted, but she's actually not in town. She's actually in the hospital in another city, which I just found out when I got here. And so that's still a work in progress, complicated. Those maternal relationships are so freaking complicated. So there's been a lot of tears while I've been here. Honestly, did I make the right choice of moving away from here where I had so much support to a city where I didn't have anybody? And I'm still trying to figure it out and make it home. And I mean, I definitely have friends and stuff in the new city, but yeah, you forget that it's not the same as where you left. I was here for 24 years. So it's a process.
Guys, when you see older women who are single and complaining about how there is no good men left to date them, do not feel sorry for them. They probably brought it on themselves like this woman. She had a family that loved her. She had a community that cared about her. She had friends that supported her. But what did she choose to do? She chose to leave everything and everyone behind just so that she can go chase Chad and Tyrone. My dear, you thought that you could do better than your husband? Well, you played yourself. Fellas, protect yourselves at all times and avoid these types of women like the plague. And above all, don't forget to keep your head up, focus on your goals, and everything else will follow. I love you and I appreciate you for all your support. Please feel free to like, subscribe, comment, and
Sorry, there was a child wearing a mask and that makes me feel physically sick.
share to help push this content to more men in need. I'm out. Peace.
Oh my goodness, guys. I knew that our situation was bad, but again, every time I come here, I'm just like, I get more and more shocked. Because I'm like, I didn't realize it was that bad. I didn't realize there were 56-year-old women making videos like this about their weird sexual fetishes and relationships. I'm sorry, I didn't know. Yeah, okay. Kingdom 1985 says, this is so sad. You'd always hope they'd grow up. Yeah, it's crazy. She won't ever grow up past that mentally. I know. You can tell. You can just tell. That's her like that forever. She'll probably be 90 years old with a spreadsheet with her sexual partners on it. Someone said, that's what I'm thinking. She's got a whole audience. Probably support her in a negative way. Exactly. And this is what women do. They encourage each other to be sexually promiscuous and leave good men in order to be able to get with those men, the good men. It's just not the way to be. But yeah. Oh my goodness. It's just, I don't even know what to say about it. It's really shocking. It really is shocking. And she's crying about it. And at the same time, she's in denial that she's sad about it. And she's trying to mask that sadness and that loneliness with sleeping with random men. And unfortunately, it's not going to work. You can't fill that void. Anyway, there's this video that I'm going to react to as well. It's called modern woman divorced her husband and instantly regrets it because he got a new girl. This is the last video I'm going to react to, guys. Yeah, let me know what you're thinking the way through and we can react to it together.
You know what I'm realizing more and more? Women only have high standards for men they don't really like. If we have a crush on someone or if we're dating someone that we're like enamored with, we could find out that he's on like an FBI watch list and we'll allow him to explain that away. Oh, he was helping a friend. Oh, but it was involuntary manslaughter. Dating and relationship coaches, they'll be like, oh yeah, if you see one little tiny thing that doesn't match what you want, oh, walk away, walk away. I'm like, who actually does that? Do you know how hard it is to find someone that we actually like? Like, we find one decent man a year. And you want us to be an adult and like abruptly end it if they don't align with us? No, I'm gonna let this man ruin my life. Cause my standards are in the toilet.
Yeah, you were going somewhere and then suddenly you just took a U-turn and decided to go the complete opposite way. No. No. If someone's not perfect, if someone doesn't completely align with everything about you, you gotta accept it because you're not gonna find anybody who completely aligns with your entire being and every single part of yourself. You know, you don't have to be the same person. You're not going to find someone who's exactly the same as you and who gives you everything that you need without you asking. You need someone who's a human, and if they're a human, they're not going to be perfect, and you just have to move on from that and accept them for who they are.
With people I like.
So she hits the wall and finally admits that women let Chad and Tyrone off the hook, but she faults regular guys and breaks up with them as soon as she finds a small problem. I admire her for being self-aware and taking responsibility, but I wonder how likely it is that she will actually change the way she dates. Hello guys and welcome back to the channel. In today's video we're gonna see woman hits the wall hard and gets divorced. Let's start right away.
I get asked a lot, what was one of your biggest failures in your own divorce that you wish other people would know? And it's very easy. I spent months, and I mean months, worrying about saying the words, I want a divorce. I worried how he was gonna take it. I worried how he was gonna feel. I was worried about his reaction, his immediate reaction only. And I worked so hard at having the courage to say, I want a divorce. We need to separate. I spent so much time and energy on that. What I did not spend a lot of time and energy on was preparing myself for what was going to happen the next day and the next day and the next day. I did not think past that moment. I said those words without being prepared. I said those words without being educated. I said those words without having a fucking plan B through Z. I only thought about just saying the words, and that's it.
My surprise is that she spent all that time trying to get the guts to say she wanted a divorce, but she never used that time to try to fix the problems in her marriage and keep it together. A lot of women think things will be easy after they get split, but they never are. Things can get messy with the law. Getting custody of the kids can be hard. They might end up alone, the kids might be upset, and there are lots of other problems that could happen.
I have a lot of regrets, and I have a lot of regrets about my divorce. And one of them is that I picked the worst divorce lawyer. Probably not the worst ever, but one of the things that I asked from her was to put a stipulation in my divorce paperwork saying that I requested that all explicit content be destroyed because I had taken photos and videos, explicit ones, for my ex-husband while we were still married. And then once we were divorced, weird, I didn't want him to have access to that anymore. And I shared that with my lawyer, and she told me that we shouldn't put that language in the paperwork because then people might think poorly of me. So she was more concerned about what someone might look up and find in my paperwork about me wanting autonomy and rights over my body. It's more important for people to not find that out versus to ensure that that content is destroyed and that my ex-husband doesn't still have it and look at it. I mean, in all honesty, I don't think he does.
I personally think if you send that content to someone, they then have the right to keep it because you have pretty much given your consent for him to have it. You can't just take that back. It's like giving someone a gift and then taking it back. You don't do that. And yeah, I personally wouldn't send pictures of my body to my husband. I would just, you know, physical is better, no? That's what I'm going to say.
Fuck, I don't know. I'm not going to speak for him. I don't know. All I know is that I did reach out to him during the divorce process 2 years ago and said, can you please make sure that all of that is deleted? And he said, yes, like it's all gone. And I said, well, what about, in this location? And he said, oh, I haven't done that yet, but I'm going to.
Worst divorce lawyer. This choice has had effects on every part of her life, making her feel frustrated and let down. Realizing that her lawyer didn't do enough makes a situation that was already painful even worse. This regret is a stark reminder of how important it is to do a lot of research and give it a lot of thought before hiring a lawyer, especially when you are feeling very vulnerable and unsure.
I am single by choice. There is a line of men in my life, in my DMs. There's always a line of men. But what I learned, friend, was you can make a lot of excuses for men when you're having really good sex with them. But then the relationship comes all about the physicalness. And I am looking for a relationship with a man who I can not only connect with physically, which is one of my favorite things to do, but I have a craving inside of me to connect emotionally, mentally, spiritually, and physically with a man. And until I can find a man who I can do that with, I don't need a man who I can just connect with physically.
How about until you stop sleeping around and giving your body to anyone, you're not going to find a guy who's interested in you for who you are because you're spreading your legs on the first date probably. How about that? Even then, when they find out what your body count is, they're not going to be very interested for long.
I'm just happily living my life. And as men come along, I vet them and see if we'd be a good fit. And the best thing that I've done is not...
What about you?
Not get physical with them for the first 3 months so that I can maintain clarity and sobriety in my decision making about them.
Well, yeah, that's the best thing you can do, but it doesn't change the fact you've slept around.
So I can see them clearly. And what are my standards? My standards are I want a high character man, a man with emotional intelligence, a man who makes me feel safe physically and emotionally.
I'm afraid to have a man like that, your body count can't be over 100. And I believe that yours is, based on how you're talking about sex so freely, as if like you just sleep around with anyone coming up your way. You literally have admitted that you sleep with men. You don't want anything serious with them though, because the ones you sleep with are just for sleeping with. So to get a man like that, you need to be a certain type of woman who has actual worth, and you've diminished yours massively by sleeping around.
That's the most important thing I'm looking for. And most of those men are married. So there's just not a lot of those guys out there single and local. If it happens, it happens. If it doesn't, I'm happy with my girlfriends.
A line of men who want to smash is always there, but not a line of men who want to break up. Does that mean she chose to be single? It's not always her choice, because if the guy she wants to commit to doesn't want to commit, she can't. She's saying she's single on purpose because she could date a random simp if she wanted to, but that's like a man saying he doesn't want to date a water bull. When it comes down to it, the reasoning is flawed. At the end of the day, she wants Chad and Tyron to feel something for her, but they keep digging her out.
Hey, peace. What's up? All right. I divorced my husband. Why did I divorce my husband? I divorced my husband because I was making a certain amount of money. I divorced my husband because I thought I didn't.
She's so masculine.
Need him anymore. I divorced my husband because I had this senior position at work and thought I held the same position at home. I divorced my husband because I thought I was better than him because I had my degree now. I divorced my husband because I thought a successful marriage meant I was here and he was down here. That is not success.
No.
That's fucking sickness.
Yeah.
I found myself divorced and out there looking for love in all the wrong places. Fucking this one and that one and that one and that one and this one and that one. And my body count going up and my value going down. I'm just going to call it like a TI is. All the while, my husband done found somebody else building a relationship and building a life with them.
This is what happens when a woman makes more money and becomes more successful.
Yep.
They start to think that they can find a better man, but it usually doesn't work out that way.
No.
Men aren't interested in being successful. Women like it when guys act like that. It's great that she finally admitted fault, but it's too late that she can change things now.
I'm so sick and tired of fighting for my rights. I'm exhausted. We're going on 3 years. 3 fucking years. I've had 50-50 since January 27th of 2022. I've never missed a date. I've never missed a time. I've never missed doctor's appointments. I've never missed IEP meetings. I've never missed evaluations. I've never missed anything. I had to work on a scheduled parenting day. I told my ex on March 6th that I was not able to attend, that I was not able to pick up our child. He still insisted on sending his girlfriend and getting the cops involved. We set up a plan to meet for 10 o'clock today. His attorney said 9. I said I couldn't because I had to work. My ex wrote back that if I can't afford my bills, that I should be on Section 8. And that he was holding our child hostage until April 26th. I went to the courthouse. I tried to write a motion to seek immediate return. They don't find it as an emergency because he's not in danger, even though he is, because my son is a victim of his abuse. My son has no idea where I am, why I didn't show up. I have absolutely no contact with him. I have no emergency contact information for him or his girlfriend. His address has been impounded. I have been verbally, financially, and physically abused by this man. He's not. I don't know what to do anymore. I want this to stop. I just want to see my child. I'm tired. I'm fucking tired of fighting this system. I'm sick and tired of it.
That's really sad. I do feel for her. I believe that divorce is one of the most damaging things for all parties involved, including the children. In fact, especially the children. I don't believe any child should be separated from any of their parents. And, you know, unfortunately, it's what happens when you pick the wrong partner. And when you get married under the eyes of the law. Because, yeah, this wouldn't be the case if you had a godly marriage and you married under the eyes of God, because you'd be fighting to treat each other right and to make the marriage work because it's under the eyes of God. And God's consequences are much worse than financial government consequences. So, yeah, unfortunately, this is the product of that.
Here's what a man does for a living. It's clear from this what guys have to go through because of the system. This time, though, it's a woman who is going through it. I'm shocked, too. In this case, the shoe is on the other foot. It's a shame that the government can limit or stop access, but it's crazy how much more guys go through this than women, and it's also strange to see a woman going through it.
I literally just got divorced. Are we done? I don't ever have to see him again. That was so hard. That was so painful. No. I couldn't look at him. I couldn't say hi. I couldn't say bye. I just walked away. The person that I loved the most in this entire world. The person I loved most in this entire world, you know? That was it. That's how the story ends. I I loved him with everything that I was. And now it's done. Oh God, I'm fucking broken, man. I fucking hurt.
What? Why? Why did she do it then? Why did she do it? If you love someone so much and you love your partner and you want to make it work, why don't you make it work? Why don't you communicate these issues you have? Why is the first thing you do divorce? Look how hard it is. Look at the consequences of it. Look what it does to someone. She's saying she's broken. She's saying she loved him with every fiber of her being. Why is she divorcing him then? Why? It doesn't need to happen.
I kept it together until the end. But I did that shit. I did that alone. I got divorced alone. I did it myself. I did all the work. I did all the research. Oh, I can't stop crying. Oh my God. I did all the research. I did all the work. I did all the paperwork. I did all the legal documents. I fucking did it.
She's saying it like she's proud. That's not something to be proud of. You're unhappy. You should be ashamed. You did all that research for what? To be this unhappy?
He was there when I arrived. Like, he was there early, and so I had to like walk up to him. He said hi, and just in the like most shameful tone. I was shaking for a while, and then eventually like calmed down. And I calmed down because he was the person that I felt safest with. I don't know, my brain, I guess that was like a coping mechanism, I don't know. But
she calmed down because he was the person she felt safest with. Yet she's divorcing him for no good reason. She's not given a reason as to why she's divorced him. I think it's another case of the grass is greener on the other side. Let me find someone who might be perfect. And you're not going to find it.
Stopped shaking, and then we signed all the paperwork and went in, and it was relatively fast. I mean, there were a few things that we were missing, like name and address for, so we filled that out together. We like stepped aside and filled it out together, and then we went back to the window and gave them all the documents that are. And I stayed strong. I stayed strong the entire time.
Basically, you acted like a man, and you're feeling the effects now because you're not a man. You're a woman, and you can't deal with that stress.
Oh man, I almost crashed. There's a lot going on. But I'm gonna go to the pier. I'm just gonna sit at the beach.
Yeah, distract yourself.
And take a few deep breaths. That was so hard and sad.
Why is she going to TikTok instead of her family members? I'm really confused.
Really, I don't think people should get married these days, but if they do, they should keep their promises. I'm beginning to believe that they should change, for better or worse, in sickness and in health, until death do us part to get a divorce. Not if you're poor, not if you're sick, and not whenever you want, because that's how some people treat marriage these days. They never keep their promises.
I never get asked out on dates, even like when I was on like dating sites. Like, obviously I've had dates, but no one's like really forthcoming.
Ew, that vape.
And with me, like, asking me out, and I don't know if it's like me being like having high expectations, but, and I don't mean to, like, whatever, you know. I don't think I'm a fucking oil painting and the best thing since sliced bread, but I would just like to have like an actual man. Now that probably sounds really bad as well, because you shouldn't say that about men or whatever, but just someone who takes control of the situation. He's like, right, we're going on a date. I'm going to come pick you up. And I've planned this. We're going to go to X, Y, and Z, and it's going to be great. So
you want a leader, but you don't want to say it because you don't want to let down your feminist side. You want a leader. Just say it. You want a leader. Cool.
I don't. I just get like half like asked like, or I'm like, are you going to ask me out on a date? Like you've spoken to me for like a week. Like, are you going to ask me out? Do you? And then it makes you think, well, maybe they're not interested in me. Maybe I'm trying to flog a dead horse.
No, what you're seeing is very feminine men because women have made them feminine. Also, the tap water they're drinking is making them feminine. The chemicals in their everyday life, which is disrupting their hormonal endocrine system, that's making them feminine. You're seeing lots of feminine men who are not leaders and who act like women, and you are confused because that's not in your nature to want those kinds of men. So you want a real man. Cool. You said it. You want a real man.
I don't know. So, any guidance or advice on why people don't ask me out would be great.
Why people don't ask you out? Maybe there's something wrong with you.
Shouldn't expect too much from herself if she knows she's not an oil picture. Instead, she should go for her looks match. She shouldn't shame a guy for being masculine if she knows it's wrong. To show that you like the movie, please click the like button.
Yes. Well, guys. Women are deluded. That is my conclusion. Women constantly are looking for better when they don't deserve better based on their looks, based on their way of being, based on their maybe masculinity, and they're not going to get better, and they should stick with what they have if it's making them happy, if it makes them feel safe, and if they consider their partner their best friend. That's a no-brainer for me, but obviously women nowadays do not see things that way because they are very deluded and because they think that they can constantly do better. They think there's a perfect man out there who will fulfill every single one of their needs without even being asked. And unfortunately, guys, that's just the state of this society that we live in because we're being encouraged to think this way. I think a lot of the problems also have a lot to do with the hormones being disrupted. Birth control has a massive part to play in this because birth control is, or most of it is hormonal. So it affects your hormones, your natural hormones, which make you want to get pregnant and want to hold a baby and want to find a man who is strong and has, you know, the right hormones to be able to give you a baby and the right testosterone levels to give you a baby. You know, your natural system would make you want to go for that. But with birth control in place, I'm not going to say we because I'm not part of the birth control committee, but women who take birth control, hormonal birth control, their hormones are completely messed up and they will be more likely to go for a feminine man because their bodies do not require a baby because they don't have the right hormones to carry a baby in that point of them taking it. So that's why a lot of women, they go with very feminine men. When they come off birth control, they suddenly feel repulsed by this man they're with, even though during the birth control they were fine with him. But when they come off, they're repulsed by him because their natural hormone levels come back and their bodies begin to crave a child. And then they look at the body kind of assesses this man and his testosterone levels, and it's like, wait a minute, this is not the man who will give us a child. We need to move on to a different one. That has a lot to do with it as well. And I hear so many stories of that. When women come off their birth control pills, they suddenly don't feel attracted to their man anymore because they realize that he is not masculine. He's not a leader. And that's happening a lot. Also, women leaving their husbands after years and years and years of marriage during their 50s or sometimes 40s, sometimes 60s, because they're going through menopause. Hormones have a lot to do with it, but if you take the right supplements and you know what to do to control your hormone levels, which I try to do because, you know, every woman has weird hormones every month, you know, it happens. And, you know, it can definitely change the way that you would usually act. But if you take the right supplements, you can counteract that and be normal and not crazy. So, I mean, do what you can and understand where you have a part to play in it as well. Anyway, guys, I have come to the end of this video. If you enjoyed it and you found it informative and you learned something from it, please give it a thumbs up and subscribe to my channel for more content like this. I will be doing more lives, and if you ring the notification bell, you'll get a notification whenever I'm doing a live and you're not ever going to miss it. So yeah, just do that as well. Leave a comment letting me know what you think about this video, and I will see you in the next video, guys. Bye.